Okie dokie. Well, we're going to get started. Welcome, everyone, to our Monday night team call. I am Michelle Barnett. For any of you guys who may not know me, I know there's some new people that are going to be hopping on. So tonight, we're going to be talking about something that is really timely. We're going to be talking about our Freedom Revolution calls that are happening. As you guys have probably seen on our Facebook page, and probably heard in our Voxer chat, there's a lot of stuff and buzz going on around these Freedom Revolution calls, and we really feel like embracing these calls is a way to grow our teams, grow our customer base, and something that is really simple to plug people into. And so we know a lot of you guys are putting on your own Freedom Revolution calls with your teams. Some of you guys are partnering up with Sidelines, and some of you guys are plugging into the bigger Freedom Revolution calls that are happening every week. And so we thought it was a good idea to come on and just teach you guys how to maximize these calls, what to say, how to plan for them, how to use them, who to invite. And so that's what we're going to do tonight. And then we're going to leave some time at the end for questions, and for you guys, if you have some great verbiage that you're using to invite people to these calls, to allow you guys to share that. So we, like I said, we feel like these Freedom Revolution calls are an amazing way to grow your team and grow your customer base. It's something that's super simple. It's like a 20-25 minute commitment. If you're plugging into the bigger calls that are happening already, you don't even have to necessarily be on. Of course, if you can, we want you on. But if you can't, you can still invite people to those calls and get them plugged in and follow up with them, because the format, it's going to be people telling their product and their business story. And so you'll know the questions to ask. But really, the reason that these calls are so powerful is because of third-party validation. It's just like getting someone on a three-way call with you and your upline. They know your story, they hear your upline story, and hearing from someone else, it just kind of validates, like, yeah, like Susie is doing this, but also Michelle is too. Like, she's been doing it for 8 years. It must be legitimate. It must work. And so it just gives you that added credibility, and you never know what about your story or your upline or your sponsor story might really connect with that person. And so when you get them on a three-way or on a Freedom Revolution call, they're getting to hear 3 or 4 stories that all might have a piece of them that resonates with that person that might be different than your story. And so getting them that exposure to other people that are having a great experience, other people who are believing in the product, who are confident, and who are excited about our mission is really important. And so it's kind of a great alternative to a three-way call. And I always tell people, if you can't get someone to get on these Freedom Revolution calls, like on the time that they're happening, then the next best step is to offer a three-way call that is scheduled around their schedule, so that this actually happens and they get the information. As you know, the Freedom Revolution, the larger group, they do calls on Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Unfortunately, the flyers don't come out super early, but as soon as we get them, we're posting them in our Team PlantStrong group. I'm going to do the chat here. I don't know if you'll be able to join it, but there is a Facebook group it's called the 90-Day Game Plan. And it's a different group of reps with Juice Plus who are putting these on. But of course, everyone can plug into them. We're not doing the game plan, but in the group, they post the flyers on Saturdays. And I try to get them and post them by Sunday or Monday. So if you want to be a part of the group, a lot of our upline sales coordinators are a part of the group, so you can get added, or you can try using the link that I just shared with you guys. And so what we're recommending is, in addition to plugging into these Freedom Revolution calls that are happening already, we want you guys hosting your own. And my recommendation is really hosting 1 to 2 a month at minimum. I know some teams are hosting 1 a week, some people once a month, some people twice a month. But if you have one more than once a month, it gives people an opportunity. So let's say you're having it on next week and someone's on vacation. If you have another one planned for later in the month, then you can say, oh, no worries. When do you get back? We actually have another one scheduled for the week after, would that work for you? And so you have kind of a backup plan for them if they can't get on the call. It also just gives you more experience sharing your story, and it gives you more opportunities to invite more people. And so what I'm going to talk about first is just our team Freedom Revolution calls, what they should look like, and how we're going to invite and who we're going to invite. So the Freedom Revolution calls can look like a couple things. What I've seen people doing are, number one, kind of mimicking the Freedom Revolution calls that the bigger Juice Plus team is doing. So having a host, an MC, and having 3 people share their stories in 5 minutes or less. And they're sharing their product and their business story in 5 minutes. It's great practice because it makes you get your story down into a little bite-sized piece. Instead of like word vomiting on someone, you kind of get it down and you get to practice it, and it becomes more normal. And so the host is really just there to introduce and to kind of give an overview of Juice Plus, to kind of talk up the speakers and make it exciting. And then at the end, to wrap up the call and just invite people to, to connect with the person that invited them, to learn more, to see if something resonated with them. And so there's a script on our Team PlantStrong Facebook page and the files for the MC. So if you're wanting to host one and you want to be the MC, there is a script with the verbiage, and you can take it, you can edit it, but it's a good starting point for you guys. Another thing people are doing is they're using the Freedom Revolution launch calls, which I think the script is also in our PlantStrong files on Facebook, but it's also it's also in the Healthy Living Revolution website. And that's more of like a scripted, we're talking about the product right now, we're talking about the business, we have a couple stories, and then we finish. And that's about 25 to 30 minutes. And that one's just a little bit more scripted. It's a little more information-based and a little less just story-based. So that's an option. And then the third is taking people through our Healthy Living Revolution website. And so doing a screen share on Zoom, and you're walking them through, one simple change, healthy kids, the Shred 10, and showing them the different ways that we partner with people to help them become healthy and take their health to the next level. And so those are kind of the options that I've seen. And at the end of the call, we can have you guys, if you're doing something different, have you guys share that. But that's kind of what they look like. When you're thinking about inviting people to these personal team calls that you're speaking on, or that one maybe your upline is speaking on, we encourage you to invite at least 15 new people to the call. And the reason being is because that is going to build your pipeline for your business. It's anytime you have an event, it's a reason to reach out. It's not just like, hey, I want to tell you about Juice Plus. It's like, hey, we're having this exciting call, or, you have a reason to share with them. And so you want to reach out to 15 new people. Of course, you can invite 5, 10, however many from previous times that maybe people couldn't attend, maybe people were busy. You can go back and invite them, but you want to invite 15 new people, because that's going to keep your prospect list fresh. And if you're going through those numbers of 15 people at least twice a month, you're going to find people who want to start Juice Plus. You're going to find people who want to start our business. And so that's really why we're doing it. That's what it's all about. We want you guys to be planning these calls for a time and a time zone that works for your prospects. I know when we're kind of partnering with people on sidelines, it can be hard sometimes to find a common time, but through using our Voxer chat or our PlantStrong Facebook page, you can find sideline buddies who are in the same time zone as you. And of course, we're going to record the calls and we can send them the recording. But getting on live is such a unique experience. People feel the energy, they feel the excitement, they want they see our faces, and sometimes when people listen to the recording, they just listen. They don't get to see who we are and connect with us that way. And so picking a time zone and a time that works for you. I know some people were recently just chatting on our Voxer, I think, about doing a daytime, during nap time. And that's a great idea. If you're a mom and you feel like your target audience is moms who are going to have a nap time similar to yours, then trying one out during nap time. or after bedtime, or if you're a busy professional and you work all day, you know, maybe on your lunch hour would be a good time. So just kind of thinking about your guests and making sure you're trying to do your calls when it's appropriate and at the best convenient time for your guests. So we recommend trying not only different times of the day, but different days of the week, trying weeknights, trying weekends, and just seeing what sticks. If you're inviting consistently, then people, you know, you're going to be able to get people. If you invite 15 people to one of these calls, it's likely that you'll get 1 to 3 people on the call. And if you can consistently get 1 to 3 people on these calls week in and week out, your business is just going to explode. You know, people are going to be excited about what you're doing. You're going to be contagious, and people are going to be joining what you're doing. So that is the hope for our team Freedom Revolution calls. And, you know, when you're asking people to invite or to get on the calls, there's a couple different ways you can approach it. Number one, you can ask people to get on and support you. And just say, hey, I'd love, you know, I'm doing this call, I'm really nervous, or I'm sharing my story, it's my first time, or, you know, I'm so excited I get to share my story, but I really, you know, would love to have some people on there supporting me. It would really mean a lot. You know, could you get on and listen? Do you have time on Thursday night to jump on and support me? You can ask people to come hear your story. If there's people in your life that you know would be inspired, that look up to you or would be inspired by your story or would connect with your story, you can invite them to come hear your story. Or hear a story of someone that you're sharing with. You know, maybe it's not your story they're going to connect with, but maybe it's your sideline buddy who also had, you know, has a really great immune boosting story, or, you know, their kid's failure to thrive and so is yours, you know, finding that connection and asking them to come hear a specific story. You can simply just invite them to come learn more about the product, someone maybe that you've been trying to connect with to learn more about Juice Plus, and say, hey, this would be a great way for you to learn more about the products from, you know, a variety of people and hear kind of the different things that it can do for families or for our health. And then obviously the last is to invite them to learn more about our mission, to say, you know, my team, I want you to meet some of the people on our team. I want you to hear their stories and why, you know, they're so compelled to share and what this product has done and why they, you know, why we can't help but pay it forward. And so those are kind of the 4 different ways you can kind of approach it. And so I'm going to share my screen, and you guys can take screenshots if you want, but I put together some verbiage that we had collected on our Facebook group, and I typed up a couple other ones. Well, actually, I'm going to do that at the end. So I'm going to talk about the large Freedom Revolution calls first. So like I said, we're going to be posting these flyers on Sunday or Monday into our group. And from my perspective, the best way to use these calls that are happening Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday is, number one, if someone can't come to one of your personal calls that you have scheduled, you can invite them to one of these as a backup. Number two, inviting them based on the people that are speaking on the flyers. So on all the flyers, it tells the person, their name, and their background. And what I do each week is I look at the flyers and I find the ones that stick out to me. If there's one where teachers are talking, then I'm going to be like, okay, I'm going to think of like 5 teachers I know and invite them to come, you know, hear this call, because I think it would relate to them. It's relatable. Or if they're medical professionals, like I have friends who are nurses, I think that, you know, they would want to hear from other nurses, or if they're doctors or personal trainers. You know, my fitness instructor at the gym, I'm going to invite her to come hear the call with personal trainers. And so really using those flyers to identify people by their background to connect, to create your prospect list from their backgrounds. And it's just a different way of looking at it. It might help you add to your prospect list, because it's not just looking at your list and trying to fit it to the flyer. You're taking the flyer and their background and fitting, you know, figuring out who goes with that and who would make sense. Let's see here. And so what I'm recommending people do for these on a weekly basis, since they're every week, is just find 5 people on a weekly basis to invite to these calls. You just pick 5 people, and whatever call goes good for them, you invite 5 people a week. And if you can invite 5 people a week, you might get one person or more, depending on, the people you're inviting, but you might get one person a week to tune into those calls. And that would be 4 new people a month minimum who are hearing about Juice Plus, hearing how amazing it is, hearing about the products, hearing about the business, and whose eyes and mind are open to, what we do. And the interesting thing, like Kurt said last week, it might not even be that person that becomes your next teammate, but they may know someone because they heard a story and say, gosh, my sister really needs this. Can you talk to her? My mom needs this. Can you talk to her? And so picking 5 people a week to invite to these calls, it's so simple. I mean, it's probably the least work you have to do because they're already being put on. There's already a flyer. They're already happening. And simply your job is to think of the people and invite them to the call. And like I said, just follow up with them. So those are really simple to invite to. If nothing else, these conversations that you're starting with the Freedom Revolution calls, these 5 people a week, or the 15 people you're inviting to your personal Freedom Revolution calls, if nothing else, even if they don't get on a call, if that doesn't work for them, you're starting a conversation. You get to start this conversation and develop a relationship with them and ask questions and learn about their schedule, learn about their kids, learn about their health journey. And it's just such a great way to build your prospect list so that you are adding every month and every week to that group. Because really, we do our business in a way that we want everyone to know. We don't want to keep Juice Plus and this mission from anyone. We know that not everyone will say yes, but it's our job and our mission to inspire people to at least be educated, to at least take a next step, to at least learn more. And so these freedom calls are such an amazing tool to help you guys do that. So now we're going to I'm going to share my screen, and we're going to show you some verbiage ideas. Okay, let me see. Can you guys see my screen? Does it need to be bigger, or is it good? Nope. Let's see here. So this is, hold on. I gotta make my little boxes. I've got to make these boxes shorter. Okay. So I'm just going to read this to you guys. If you want to take a screenshot of these, this is verbiage to invite customers to these calls. So the first one says, "Hey Susie, I wanted to reach out and thank you again for being my Juice Plus customer. I'm so glad your family is getting so much good nutrition daily. As part of my commitment to you, I want to continue educating and adding value to you for your health journey. This Thursday at 8 p.m. Central Time, some mom friends and I are sharing our stories about how Juice Plus and whole food nutrition has impacted our families and how we are helping others through our mission. I know you'll be so inspired and would love to have you on as my guest. Would you be able to join us on Thursday night?" So pretty simple. The second one, "Hey Susie, I wanted to reach out and thank you again for being my Juice Plus customer. I'm so glad your family is loving Juice Plus and you are sharing it with others. I wanted to let you know that on Thursday at 8 p.m. Central Time, some of my health-minded friends and I are sharing our stories about health and hope that we have found through this Juice Plus journey and why we love paying it forward to others. I know you have shared Juice Plus with a few people, and I thought it would be a great opportunity for you to learn more about how you can help people you love get healthy too through our mission. Would you be able to join us Thursday night?" And the last one says, "Hey Susie, I wanted to reach out and thank you again for being my Juice Plus customer. I'm so glad your family has started this health journey with me. As part of my commitment to you, I want to continue educating and adding value to you for your health journey. Some friends and I are hosting a short 20-minute call on Thursday night at 8 p.m. Central Time to share how Juice Plus, or it could be about the shred, has changed our family's health. I thought you would love the stories and be inspired by what we share. You may even think of a few people who need to hear about it too. Would you be able to join us Thursday night on the call?" Okay, let's see here. Okay, so this is verbiage for revisiting a prospect. So this is someone that you've shared Juice Plus with in the past, and you're kind of, maybe it didn't go anywhere, maybe they ghosted you, maybe they said not now, or what, maybe even no if it was a year or two ago. So you're just kind of going back to them. So, hey Tiff, I know we have talked about Juice Plus and what an amazing company and product it is. I have a passion for not only inspiring health, but also for helping others find financial freedom. Me and 3 other mamas will be sharing our story of health and how this business has helped us to dream again and given us purpose. I'd love it if you could check it out and learn more about this mission. We'll be sharing both Thursday night and Tuesday evening at 9. Thought this could be a great opportunity for you to learn more and hear some other stories. Would you be open to checking it out? So notice all of these have a question at the end where you're trying to get them to give you a yes or a no. Next one says, hey, Sarah, hope you're doing really well. I want to hang out and go for a walk sometime. So you're building kind of that rapport. I was thinking about you today because I know we've talked about this in the past, about you being a dietitian and your passion for wellness, and also about the Juice Plus products. And tonight we have a special call with a dietitian, naturopath, doctor, exercise physiologist, and health coach who will be sharing more on Juice Plus products and mission. And I thought it would be right up your alley. I know it's been a while since we've chatted about this, but you've been on my mind a lot with Baby B coming soon. I've been thinking about other wellness-minded mamas in the area I can spend time with and learn from. The call is at 8 p.m. your time. I know it's last minute, but would you be able to join, or are you interested? So that's kind of like trying to reconnect with someone who maybe you haven't talked to in a long time. And obviously that was for one of the bigger Freedom Revolution calls. The next one says, hey Gwen, I was thinking about you today because I know you're loving Juice Plus for your family and are working toward a more plant-based lifestyle. This week we have 2 amazing calls that I think you would love that share more about Juice Plus and our mission. Tonight at 8 p.m. we have a special call with a dietitian, naturopath, exercise physiologist, health coach who will share more on the Juice Plus products and mission, and I thought it would be right up your alley. I know it's been a while. I think I have a typo, but I know it's been a while, and since you are a nurse, it's supposed to say, I thought you'd be interested. The second call is at 8 p.m. Thursday, and I'll be sharing my story with a few other mamas. I know it's last minute, but would you be able to join either call? So that one really should be on the next page because she's a customer. But here is the verbiage for cold prospects. These are people that you haven't shared Juice Plus with. So you're just kind of putting it out there and testing the waters and seeing what sticks. So the first says, hi, Jennifer. I don't know if you'd be interested or not, but I wanted to let you know about a couple calls that my team is hosting tonight and Tuesday. They should last about 20 to 25 minutes. It's a Zoom call where you log on to Zoom on your computer and join in a face-to-face call with me and my team. It's totally free. We'll be sharing our stories of the Juice Plus product and business. Both calls are at 8 p.m. Central. Would either of these nights work for you to jump on and join us just to learn a little bit more about Juice Plus? Next one says, hi, Stephanie. I have a question for you. I know we don't know each other very well, but I've had your posts come up several times, and I've seen you like some of my recent posts, which inspired me to reach out. I'm part of a community called the Healthy Living Revolution, and it's our mission to help people set up preventative health habits so that they can live a healthier life with more ease. We are looking to make a bigger impact this year and help 500 families with these health habits. Would you be open to connecting sometime in the next week to hear more? It may not be for you, and feel free to say no, but you strike me as someone who prioritizes their health, so I couldn't help but ask. And if they say yes to that, then you could invite them on to your Freedom Revolution call. You can invite them to one of the bigger Freedom Revolution calls, or you could set up a one-on-one or a 3-way call. And then lastly, hey friend, I've thought of you quite a few times lately, and so I know this may seem like out of the blue, but I knew I needed to message you. I was wondering if you'd simply be open to hearing more about what I do. I have a goal for 2018 to find 5 amazing people to work with and expand within the 20 countries we operate. I don't know if you're one of those 5 people or not, but I thought you may be able to help me find one of those 5 people because you know people that I don't. Would you be open to hear more about our purpose or mission and what we're about, to see what kind of people we are looking for? So that one's kind of an indirect. You're kind of reaching out to someone out of the blue, but you're not necessarily asking them to sign up or to join you. You're asking them to hear more about what you're doing so that they can help maybe connect you with someone. It might be them, but connect you with someone that could be the person that would love what we're doing or want to join in on our mission. So those are just some ideas for some cold prospect verbiage. I'm going to stop my share. So now I want to just, I know we're kind of wrapping up the call, but were you guys able to get screenshots of those if you wanted them? Hopefully. I will try to create a document, a Word document or a PDF, and put those in our PlantStrong Facebook page as well in the files. But so you can see there's a variety of ways. And so you don't feel like you're, if you took pictures of those and you want to use them, don't feel like you have to use them verbatim. Feel free to make them you. Feel free to, change up some of the wording to make it sound more like your personality, or mix and match. If you like a sentence from one and a sentence from another, like feel free to mix and match and use those to get your messages out. But really the biggest part of making these successful is consistency. Just because you promoted one and no one came doesn't mean that the next one you promote, nobody's going to come. You don't know that. And if you assume that, then you're just shooting yourself in the foot, and you're not being willing to put yourself out there and get out of your comfort zone to find those right people. So we just want to encourage you to plug into the calls that are happening every week, and to invite and host your own, so that you can maximize the beginning of this year to set you guys up for the success and the goals and the dreams that you guys have for your future with this business. So I'm going to stop right here and see if anyone wants to come on and share if they're doing anything different on their calls, or maybe any verbiage that you're using that you found really successful, or ask questions.
Hey, I missed the beginning of the call, but I wanted to jump on here as our team has been doing these, a protocol that I really encourage. Two things is that, one, if you have someone committed to a call that's, not one you're hosting, to really make an effort to be on the call so that you can connect with them, like on the storyline of the call. But then also right after the call, some verbiage that I have used, or just encouraged our team to use, is just simply sending a message, like literally as soon as the call finishes, send them a text message and say, hey, oh my gosh, I don't know if you said this beforehand, but I always encourage also, like, the day of, the morning of, to send a reminder, and just let them know I'm going to send you a reminder like 30 or 15 minutes before the call, just to let you know. Want to make sure you're able to download Zoom. But then right afterwards, I'm sending a text message saying, hey, oh my gosh, that call was amazing. Were you able to check it out? I would love to get your feedback and hear what your favorite story was, or what your favorite part was. And it's gone over really well, because it's right when it's fresh in their mind. They just got off the phone anyway, so they're already on their phone. And it's gone really well to get feedback right away.
Yeah, I actually forgot to say that. So thanks for sharing that about the follow-up before they even get on. You want to remind them, because it's not on their priority to be on the call, but it's our priority to get them on the call. So even if you have to set an alarm on your phone, like 15 minutes before, like message invitees, or, message attendees or something, like, just so that you don't forget. Another question I like to ask right after is, and I agree with Casey, it works best if you can do it immediately after, is saying, hey, if they said they were getting on, sometimes I just assume that they're on. I say, hey, thanks so much for getting on the call. Obviously, if it's your personal call, you'll know if they were on or not, most likely. But, just saying, I'd love to hear what resonated with you. I'd love to hear, which story, did you connect with any of the stories, or, did you hear something that resonated with you? So that's also another great question, because you're, assuming the best, and then they can kind of tell you from there. Anyone else want to share about their Freedom Call experience, or tips, or verbiage? I know a lot of you guys are doing them, which is awesome. Anyone want to share about being brave and sharing and doing this for the first time? And how great it is to do for those who maybe are a little nervous?
I'll share, Michelle. I just hosted my first one. We've been doing a few of them, but I just led my first one last week. And I have to say, it was really empowering to be the one that was leading it, even though I was nervous about it. And I only had one person on it, but it went really well. And I think because I was hosting it, she was also really excited, when we were messaging afterwards, and it just lended me more credibility, I guess, too, in talking to her about it. And so I definitely think that I would encourage you, if you haven't been the one to lead one yet, if your team is doing them, to hop on board and try to be brave and jump out there and do it, because it definitely was more powerful for the person that was on it, for sure.
Yeah. And the good thing is, we have a script and we have ideas for you, but they don't know what you were supposed to say. So if you say something else, like, nobody knows except for maybe you and the people that are doing it with you, that are hosting. So,
Exactly.
Just go with it.
Exactly.
Thanks, Jillian. That's awesome. Way to be bold and brave. All right. Any last questions about these calls? Okay, well, thanks everyone for being on. We appreciate you. We hope it was helpful. Like I said, I'll put this verbiage into a document, get it on our files section of our PlantStrong Facebook group, so you guys can have that. And if you have questions, please put them in our Facebook page. We will continue to, we're learning as we go. It's a learning process. We're learning what works, what doesn't work, and we're just trying to get better. And so you may be the person that finds something that works really well, and we want to hear from you too. So thank you guys for getting on tonight. We hope you have a great evening, get some good rest. And next week, we're going to have some special guests sharing on how to build your cold market into warm market on Instagram, which is kind of new and different, and I'm learning a lot. So that'll be really exciting. So thanks for coming tonight, and we'll see you soon. Bye, guys.